Morning everyone. Today's game is about installing the Fiamma awning rails. First job, I need to remove these bungs so that the bolts for the rail can fit. It's worth noting the rail kit, this is an F65, is handed left or right, and the holes I've currently got the bolts in are for awning mounted on the left hand side, near side in the UK, and the other holes are mounting on the off side in the UK. And in the instructions there are two sets of pictures. Make sure you look at the right one that says UK, otherwise you end up with the bolt holes in the wrong place. So let's take these bungs out. For that we're going to need a suitable removal tool and some heat. This is a kit of trim panel tools, and I reckon probably something like that one will do the job. Right. Next one. What I'm watching for is to paint the bubble, and it just did just then. Once the paint just bubbles, it's ready to come out. Bingo. There we are. You can see there's little reclaiming clips on the inside, a small amount of sealant which nicely heats up and comes off. So let's just take that off. Take off a bit of the sealant, a bit of cleaner rather. So, scrapery type thing. What we've got in the way of a scrapery type thing here? There's a scrapery type thing. Right, this is cellulose paint fillers. I'm just going to clean up where the sealant needs a bond on either side of these bolt holes. I'll go mad with it because it goes straight through the paint. Let's also take the excess glue off. when heating this stuff up, this is a ceiling strip here, you don't overheat that. Distort. Right, so test fit. I only put the bolts through and the nuts on and the washers on just so I didn't lose the bits. I've had these laying around in my workshop for ages. So in theory then, I'll move my thing out of the way. That sits in there. And there's room, a bit of movement there. Or is there? Yeah, is there? Yeah. So I'm in. Yeah, there's room for a bit of movement there. I think before I do these up completely tight, and while the sealant's going off, or before the sealant's going off, I'm going to actually mount the rail on the van to ensure these are absolutely dead parallel with each other, because there's actually 3 of these. This one at the other end of the vehicle, and one dead centre. But that's the principle for getting these little caps off. Now why is that bouncing out? Oh, it's the insulation under, that's why. I was wondering if the way the alloy had been cut would be a interference fit in this channel so that it couldn't move, but there's clearly room there for a very slight movement, but potentially could be out of line. I'm filming this with my iPad. I don't think I'll use it again. It doesn't have the ability to zoom out far enough. Anyway, I thought I'd have to bolt the awning onto here in order to check everything was aligned, but fortunately this piece of unwinds track that I took out the floor of the van is lovely and straight and just long enough. It's 3.2 metres, so it's just long enough for me to check the brackets are aligned and level. These brackets come with 2 little wedge thingies. You can see one there that just raise the edge up slightly, and there's a screw there. Is that focusing? I don't know whether that's focused or not. There's a screw there, and the pictorial instructions seem to suggest that you bolt and glue this bracket down first, then fit this spacer, which you can slide in from the left, and then fit the screw. But I wouldn't like to try. Oh, where am I pointing it? Sorry. I wouldn't like to try and get a screwdriver to it there. The one at the other end, and it may be because I'm fitting the 3.7 metre awning. Actually, no, it's nothing to do with it. This is a universal bracket. But anyway, the shim at that end is way too small to fit under the gap. Way too small. Either they sent me the wrong one, or because this is on a long wheelbase van, you don't need it, and you only need it on the short wheelbase or medium wheelbase. I don't know. But these brackets and the instructions are universal for 2 different wheelbases. But that's resting on the roof, and with this piece of aluminium rotated, it's absolutely dead straight and level. So when my stock of white, I use PU40 rather than Sikaflex, when that's replenished, I will be sticking these down. I ordered some last week and they sent me black instead of white, so I'm now waiting for them to refix that. But that was the purpose of buying the awning that's currently over there mounted on it's 3.7 metres long, which was exactly the right length for that van there, and will fit on this perfectly as well. So economies of scale, 1 awning, 2 vans. So now I'm going to go and take that bracket off at the end there, and just put a bit of tape over the holes, because that potentially will let water in. until I've stuck these down. But I'm very happy now. I don't have to mess about, because these awnings are heavy. That's 30 kilograms, and that's physically, it's not a pleasant thing fitting and taking off and fitting and taking off. It does need two people. And I really didn't want to have to take it off of there just to bung it on here to get the brackets lined up. You know, just so I was happy that I hadn't cocked up. But there you go. This piece of aluminium works perfectly, and I'll leave that there while I do these up and then just check it again. Well, I say perfectly, it's adequate. It just satisfies me worrying that I'll get it wrong and then find I can't get the awning to clamp on. Anyway, that's another job done, or will be done when I've glued down. But I've got all the holes, done all the preparation. Where that seam is, you can probably just see the seam dead centre of the picture now. I had to cut a bit of that away to get the bracket to sit flat on the roof. It's a mastic type product that seals the body panels together, but that was proud, and that was making that entire end raised by about 3mm. So I've trimmed that back. This bracket here could go one or two places. It could go there, or it could go in the hole to the right of the seam. It's a little bit more central there, but again, the instructions don't really indicate where they want you to fit it, so I just thought, right, sod it. If it sits flat and flush, that's where it's going. But there you go, awning brackets in situ, ready to be bonded down.